Hey everybody, welcome back to Worried to Wealthy. Today what we're going to be going over is how you can beat 99% of the hedge funds out there. And I'm going to prove that to you. I got some info. I'm excited to show you guys. We'll get back to this here in a minute. Um, Dividend update. We got nothing so far. It's been, honestly, July has been monster, but as of recent, nothing so far. So let's get into it. So as I go through this, I just want to let you know that this is, of course, my disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not certified. This is not financial advice. Just take this as a guy off YouTube because that's all I really am. I don't have the credentials or anything. So treat this as entertainment. I hope this has helped somebody out there. And of course, the reason why I'm doing this is because I think this would have helped me out when I was younger. So I'm trying to do that as well. And just I want you guys to do your own research because I really think that if you have conviction in what you're holding, I really do believe you're going to be better in the long run. So, keep coming on this journey with Worried to Wealthy, and I think it'll help out. And I really hope it does. That being said, let's get into it. How does Worried to Wealthy, how do I know you can beat 99% of hedge funds? Well, it's through the S&P 500, and it really is that simple. When I was kind of going through my financial independence journey, I came across a story with Warren Buffett. And basically, what happened was it was like 2007. He put out a bet. He said any hedge fund that wants to take me up, that they think they can beat the S&P 500 minus fees, right? Then you will win $1 million, right? You take a low cost S&P 500 index over any hedge fund that thinks they can beat it. And it was actually crickets for a while. So I looked on Charles Schwab and I watched their video on it, and he bet $1 million. And one guy eventually ended up taking him up. And what ended up happening is I'm going to switch to this one actually. What ended up happening was this. It was actually really interesting. 2007, that's when the bet was like, hey, anyone wants to take me up. One guy actually did. And so what happened is in the first year, the average hedge fund is in dark blue, the S&P 500 is in light blue. And right now the hedge fund is actually killing it in the first year. And so but as you go along, light blue beats dark blue every single time. Look at this, every single time. So much so that the guy who did the bet with Warren Buffett called it off early. And as you can see here, $100,000 invested at the beginning of 2008 would be worth $148,000 if invested into a hedge fund versus if you invested into S&P 500, you would have $225,000. That is crazy. I grew up thinking, oh, hedge funds, you know, well, they obviously have a bunch of like they're rich people. They know what to invest in. The problem is even if these hedge funds beat the S&P 500, because some of them do, right? Some of them do. And they can do it on any given year. I'll show you the chances in a second. But the problem is after fees, because they charge you 1 to 2% for fees. That's the problem, is that at the end of the day, you're not receiving, right, the beating the market, right? And so at the end of the day, between taxes and fees, you're not going to get that. So just holding this alone, you're going to beat 99%. And so how do I say that as well? This is where the 99% comes from. Jack Bogle is the founder of Vanguard, and he was the first one to invent index funds. There's a little saying they like to say, instead of trying to find the needle in the haystack, just buy the haystack because then you're going to get the needle. And because outperforming the market is extraordinarily difficult, basically only 20% of fund managers can do it in any one year, right? So it's probably an 80% chance that you're not going to beat it in any one year. But after 30 years, this is where the 99% comes in. After 30 years, the percent of a fund manager that can do it, as in beat the market, is less than 1%. That is wild. I really did think, I'm like, okay, hedge funds have to beat the market. 80% of them do, or do not, excuse me, 80% of them do not do it in any one year. Now, if you expand that over 30 years, I don't know about you, I'm on the younger side of 50. So I'll be investing for more than 30 years. Not that I have access to these hedge funds people anyway, like not that they're like calling me up asking for money, but why would I do it? I'm going to beat them wholeheartedly. And it's funny because a lot of people say, index fund has average returns. I don't think if you beat 99% of other investors out there, like active investors, if you beat 99% of them, that can't be average. That can't be. You're under Warren Buffett. It's not that you have 1% less money than Warren Buffett, but you're beating 99% of other investors. And you're doing nothing too. Like these guys are picking stocks, they're like looking at financials and all this other stuff. And here you are just buying VOO or SPY, and you beat them over 30 years. I'll probably be investing for 50 years or longer until I'm dead, basically. I mean, so I got a lot of time. So why, like, why would you go to any of these hedge funds? So I don't get it. It's crazy that you can get some of the best returns in the world just by investing in the S&P 500. And again, not clickbait. You can beat hedge funds like all of them, except for like less than 1%. You won't beat those guys, and that's crazy. So a lot of you might be asking, well, hey, like why do you purposely invest in dividend funds? And I'll say two things. My brokerage with Robinhood, I have about 100 shares of VTI. I still think it's good to hold some broad market. Two, in my retirement account, I actually have about 107K in there in Fidelity's total market as well. But third, I like to have more consistent cash flow. And I like my investments to go down less during falls. Uh, Thirdly, I was watching this guy on YouTube as a real estate guy, and he's like, the best properties are the ones that can appreciate, but then also cash flow well. And it's like, well, duh, right? But those are the hardest to find. Well, that's, in my opinion, it's kind of like DGRO and VIG. Now, also, when you look at total return, they're all almost so equal. It's wild. It's so crazy, right? VU over 10 years takes the cake, but VIG is real close, like a couple percentage points. Then VTI, and just by a hair in fourth place is DGRO, but they're giving out more consistent cash flow because these two funds, no, nothing wrong with them, they hold companies that will cut their dividends. And at the end of the day, like I want to be paying rent and like doing stuff on movies and stuff like that. And I want to be doing that like with my cash flow. I don't want to sell shares. I especially, a lot of times, dividends are cut during something like this, right? And so when everything's going, hell in a handbasket, I also don't want to sell shares when everything's down. Another thing I did was pretty interesting, and this kind of proves it already, but I did a back test of the portfolio. This is on portfoliovisualizer.com. It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out. I did 1985, but VIG was created in like 2006, 2007, so it starts in 2007. End date 2023. I did $1 million. Yep. And then I did, let's see here, reinvest the dividends. That's important. And then I did VIG, portfolio 100%, and then VTI, I did 100% of that. And then I analyzed the portfolios of $1 million, right? And who's going to end up with more? Well, it is VTI, but not by much. Like at the end of the day, like it's 4.2 million, you know? Like if it was really that much more, then maybe I'd consider doing it. But for me, I think it's human nature to get paid for things. A lot of people don't like waiting for something just to like turn up and just be absolutely amazing. Some other evidence that I'll have to do a YouTube video on is I've seen evidence. If you take the non-dividend paying stocks, right? I'm not talking about like, just only one stock like Google or Tesla, but if you take all the non-dividend paying stocks, and then you take the stocks that have initiated a dividend and or grown their dividend, right? So they have to constantly increase it. The ones who initiate and increase their dividends do better than non-dividend paying stocks. And again, you could pull out all the one ifs, right? Like, oh, well, what about Tesla? Well, Tesla would have beat it. What about Google or Meta, right? Those would have probably beaten it. But at the end of the day, if you take all of them, which I'm not a good stock picker, so I'm not going to pretend, I'm going to take that cash flow. And so That's what's really cool about that. Now, again, that's how you beat 99% of the hedge fund managers, and that's also why I choose dividends over a total market. Even though I do have total market, I think I'll always have exposure to total market. But I really like companies that pay me consistent and increasing cash flow. That being said, thank you again for watching Worried to Wealthy. We have had like a surge in views. I haven't been doing this long, but it's like 75 views so far. We added another subscriber. Um, if you guys like this, please throw us a thumbs up, throw us a subscribe, and Camper would really appreciate it. You guys know the drill. Only takes a couple of seconds, and it really helps out our channel. And last but not least, I'm going to put this down in the description below. Basically, like I'm obviously on Robinhood. If you guys haven't started a brokerage account, I would I would encourage it quite a bit. Whether you're investing in a Roth IRA, just a 401k, a brokerage, there are some ways to optimize it. But if you just want to get started and just get started, just if you haven't already, do it. If you want to have another brokerage, I'll be completely transparent. I do get a stock from this, but you guys get stocks as well. And it's cool. You can actually pick your stock. I didn't know that was a thing. That's pretty cool. And you can pick from all these. Look at all these different great companies. Google is a great company. Amazon, Tesla, like they don't pay dividends, but they are great. Berkshire Hathaway, my idol. But then look at all these dividend stocks: Johnson Johnson, ExxonMobil, Walmart, J.P. Morgan Chase, P&G. Nvidia pays a dividend, but not increasing. Chevron, Lilly. Is that Coca-Cola? They might have changed it. Yeah, that's Coca-Cola. Disney, they cut their dividend, but a good brand, of course. McDonald's is great. This might be Hormel. John Deere is a good dividend stock. Ford, sorry, I've been beating up on you lately, but I would get that one off. Apple's great. Microsoft, and it's made its way back around. So again, if you want to start off, I'm going to put this in the comment section down below, and you can pick your free stocks up to $200. And yeah, thank you so much for watching Worried to Wealthy. Again, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe if you're liking it. And I'll keep making good videos, and hopefully I can help somebody out with something on their way to financial independence. Thanks, and have a good day.